the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just to the west of you, Coach, on the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium, just north of downtown Tampa. Just a short time ago, the Buccaneers emerging from their tunnel to the roar of this frenzied crowd here in the Sunshine State. And we're in the big ship, and fittingly, everyone here ready to do battle as Tampa Bay gets ready to match up with the New Orleans Saints. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And last weekend, they pulled one out in a very low-scoring affair. It was all about their defense.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. He'll look to throw. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. So the same tandem connecting on back-to-back throws to start the game.
And maybe throwing the scouting report off just a little bit. That's not exactly what they think is going to be their number 1 receiver, but he's producing already early in this game.
You ready?
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll set up to throw. Flushed out right. Got an open man, it's Scott. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 10 yards, good for his Saints first down.
Break.
Rip left, rip left.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Here we go. Set. 30 base.
Yeah. You don't want none.
Back to throw here. And this is going to be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Young escaping the pressure right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And some room to roam now. And he will be marked down inside of New Orleans 10. A big play there on the catch and run. 71 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Indy.
Young working out of the gun. Flush to his right. That's complete. Right around the 8. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Wilder. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And that one gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead. A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And it's complete to Martin. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's a 2nd and 7. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They're a top 5 unit right now against the pass in the league. In fact, they sit at number 5.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack. They
head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw deep. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. picked off near the 42. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10 at their own 42. On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd and 9, Young. Throw right side complete to Carter. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go.
From the shotgun, it's Young. Rolling to his right. And it's knocked away and incomplete. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They'll run it now out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Out of the gun, it's Young, escaping the pressure right. Wide open receiver complete. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints 18.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down. Here's Young from the shotgun. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. From 6 yards away as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Extra point forthcoming. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 38 yards on the scamper there.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Right back to him on first down. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there. 17
there and a New Orleans first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. 2nd and 2. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. From 4 yards out, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Extra point up and through. And that'll make our score 14-7. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
We've hit the 2-minute mark in the second quarter, 14-7. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you across state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. 2 choke plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. To throw, Young. Caught here by Bell. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
Here we go. Send it over. 22-jet bomber. 22-jet bomber. Go.
They'll run on first down. Wilder. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. A gain of 3, 2nd down. On 2nd and 7. Young. Flush to his right. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds.
Switch out. He's recon. 132-5. Get it.
On 3rd down, Wilder. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
And that is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's got this down to the 35. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season is going to be about 2/3 complete after this weekend. So lots to get to as we check out what's going on here in Week 11. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
The objection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. On first down, Wilder takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the 36, Young eluding the pressure right. That's complete. It's Bell. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Young on first down. Flushed out right. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
On second down, Young again. Dancing to his left. Looking left side, and he's got him in. It's Bell. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Young looks to throw on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Throwing on second down, Young, and he's got it. Caught in the end end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A 12-yard touchdown grab as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. A reminder that coming up later tonight, a good one on Sunday Night Football. We'll see what could have been a playoff matchup a season ago. The Bears and the Rams from L.A. And then tomorrow night, Monday Night Football from down in Mexico. Mexico City, to be precise. The Chiefs and the Chargers going at it. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Check 45 to Mike. Do your job. Get it.
2nd and 6. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. Escaping the pressure right. He'll try and run it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially his second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
14 yards is the pickup, first down New Orleans. Back to throw now on first down. Flush to his right. This will be caught inside the 10. A very solid gain of 27.
Here we go.
I think by now it's been demonstrated quite well in the NFL that mobility is an attribute. But when you couple it with accuracy, you really got something going. Able to get out.
And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. And nothing special there. They show they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight-ahead power, and they got it done.
Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your quarterback? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. Well, this is taken in. It's complete.
Good work, boy. Let's go.
So both teams trade touchdowns, and the 3rd as we're through 3 quarters of play. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a give, right side. Wilder. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Young to throw it. Eluding the pressure right. Going for the right side here. Complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A 5-yard touchdown as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do?
And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. Sliding out of the pocket. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Let's go. 30 base.
Hey, one set. Check.
2nd and 3. Buying time to his left. And this is incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 15-yard line.
Set. 70. Indy.
Rap.
2.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. This complete to Martin. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. He'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. Now he's got it. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Watch the screen. Watch the eye. Back.
They'll look to throw here. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints get a bit closer.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Escaping the pressure right. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Young. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. Here's Young. They'll roll him out right. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. And Young's going to throw it here. Flush to his right. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Young to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And Sanders has got it complete. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know, people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Bucs, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Saints, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.